Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this raindrop bracelet, and we're going to be making it completely on the hook. And you'll need a pencil or a hook or something to use to make the bracelet. I'm going to be using neon blue, navy blue, and white, and you'll also need a C-clip. And the bracelet might be a little confusing when you're transferring, so if you get confused or lost, please watch it first before trying. But once you get it, it's pretty easy. So let's get started. First, we're going to take a single band, the color of our border, and we're going to loop it once on a hook to create the cap band. Now we're taking a single neon and a single navy blue, you can use whatever color you want, and pulling the two loops off of a hook and onto the two single bands and getting the loops onto a hook. Once again, taking a single neon, a single navy blue. Now with our pencil, we're going to put the loops onto our pencil like that, grabbing the loops onto a hook and then pulling the 4 loops off of a hook and onto the 2 single bands. So that's what yours should look like, and hold on to your hook and pencil. And now we're going to repeat the same pattern, getting a neon blue and a navy blue, whatever color you want to use. Get it onto our pencil and getting the loops for your 2 bands onto your hook, and then pulling the 2 loops off of the back of a hook and over and onto the 2 new bands. Push it down. Once again, taking your 2 color bands, mine's navy blue and neon blue, getting it onto our pencil and getting the other end onto a hook. Once again, we're going to grab the 2 loops off of a hook, up and over the front of a hook onto the 2 new bands. And you're going to repeat for as long as you want. I'll do a few more times. Same thing, getting my 2 bands, getting it onto my pencil, and getting the other side onto a hook. Now grabbing the 2 back loops off of our hook and over and onto the 2 new single bands. I'll do it one more time, taking your 2 single bands, getting the loops onto a hook and our pencil, and then grabbing the 2 back loops up and over and onto the front 2 bands. And once again, you're going to continue to your desired length. And when you're about done, we're going to take a single color band, the color of your border, and pulling the loops off of a hook and onto that single white band. And let's get it on a C-clip. And getting our hook off. So that's what yours should look like. Now let's add the border for our raindrop bracelet. Taking a single band, starting on the cap band end side, we're going to pull the loop off of our hook and onto that single band. We're going to grab a single color on this side of our bracelet. So I'm grabbing the neon blue onto my hook, and then getting the other loop off of my finger. So you have 3 loops on your hook, taking your next border color and getting all 3 loops off of the hook and onto that single band. And once again, we want to grab the same color. Going to my next neon blue, getting it onto my hook and getting the other side of the loop onto my hook. Once you have 3 bands on your hook, getting your next border color and pulling all 3 loops off of the hook and onto that single band. I'm going to put my loop onto my ring finger so I can help grab the band off of my pencil and getting the other loop onto my hook, if that's easier for you. So that's what yours should look like. Once again, get another border color, border band, and getting all 3 loops off of the hook and onto that border color and getting it onto our finger. Once again, we have the 2 loops. Now grab our next color, getting it onto our hook and getting the loop off of our finger and onto the hook. Just continue getting the 3 loops off of our hook and onto that single band. And my last loop for this color on this side of my bracelet, getting it onto the hook and getting the loop off of my finger. So this side is done, and getting our last band of watercolor and pulling all 3 loops off of a hook and onto that single band and getting it onto our hook. If you're confused, just watch it. It's pretty repetitive. Now we're going to grab our C-clip, and with our hook we're going to grab the loop that's nearest to our hook off of our C-clip. So that's what yours should look like, and getting the 2 loops off of our hook and onto that single band, and then reattaching it onto our C-clip. So this side is done. Now let's work on this side, and we're now going to grab the navy blue bands. And we're going to grab our cap band end side, and we're putting it under from the bottom up, getting it onto our hook like that, taking our border color, which is white, and pulling the loops off of our hook and onto the single band, and once again getting the loop onto our finger, and the other side's on a hook. Grabbing our other color on the other side of our bracelet, mine's navy blue, and we're going to get it onto a hook and getting the other loop off of our border and onto a hook. And once we have 3 loops, we're going to pull all 3 loops off of our hook and onto that single band, and once again getting it onto our finger. So that side is on my ring finger and this side's on the hook. and grab our next color, my navy blue, getting it onto my hook and getting the other side off of my finger and onto the hook. And it's pretty repetitive, it's a little tricky, but once you get it, it's really easy. Once again, we have 3 loops, pulling the 3 loops off of our hook and onto that single band, and putting the loop we have on a finger, transfer it to our ring finger, and the other side's on a hook. And getting our next loop onto a hook, and we will always want to end with 3 loops on a hook. 2 being a border color, which is white for me, and then 1 navy blue. Our next band for a border color, getting the 3 loops off a hook and onto that single band. So this is how I'm holding it, and you can hold it however you want, whatever's most comfortable for you. So there's our bracelet so far, and let's finish 2 more. Once again, before we go on, we want to add the blue band or the other band that you didn't grab for the other side of your bracelet, getting it onto your hook, grabbing the other end of our border color, getting it onto our hook. Once again, getting the 3 loops off the hook and onto that single band, and getting it all onto that single band. And now grabbing the last band, getting it onto a hook, and grabbing the other loop for a border color off a finger and onto our hook. Our last band, taking it off for a hook and onto that single band. So that's what yours should look like, and yours should be much longer to fit your wrist. Now once again, we're going to take our C-clip, grabbing the loop closest to our hook off of our C-clip, and then pulling the 2 back loops off, up and over, and onto that single band that's attached to the C-clip, and then reattaching the other side onto our C-clip. So that's what yours should look like, and we can just slide it off of our pencil. So that's the underside of our bracelet, and this is the top. So there's your raindrop bracelet. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.